In case you missed it, we have a new KRON4 Sports Director. Scott Reiss is his name, and he is joining us now. Scott, thank you so much for being here at Live in the Bay, and welcome to the KRON4 family.
I am ecstatic to be back and ready to get this thing going.
So much fun. I want to learn a little bit about you right now and kind of your sports broadcasting history. Give us a little bit of a background of what you've been up to and what got you here.
Wow. I'll try to give you the condensed version. I did small market TV in Panama City, Florida, and then Utica, New York, and then moved out to California. Went to ESPN for 8 years and was an anchor there, which was unbelievable. And then my Bay Area TV career was born. I came back in 2009 to help launch what was Comcast Sportsnet and now NBC Sports Bay Area. There for 5 years, and then I was across town at one of the other stations for a while. I was the play-by-play voice of Stanford football and basketball for 10 years and took a detour to Kansas City, and now I'm back.
And you're back in California, back in your roots. So happy to be back in the Bay Area, I'm sure.
Unbelievably, yes. Although I will say, you know, I drove in from Kansas City. I got to California on Saturday. This is the first time I've seen the sun since I crossed the state line. This wasn't in the brochure, but...
yeah, this wasn't in the brochure. Yeah, we have a little bit of rain here. Normal from the Bay Area, we know this. Well, I wanted to chat a little bit of sports with you and kind of just, you know, pick your brain on some Bay Area sports and maybe talk about some of your top 3 Bay Area sports moments, if you can kind of think those up.
There are so many. I could probably give you at least one from every local sports team. I have to say, Warriors-wise, 2017, which was the second title because it was the one they won here in Oakland at the time, and just in front of the home fans. The first one was in Cleveland, so that was pretty special. The Giants on the road in Kansas City, Game 7 of the 2014 World Series, one of the most incredible baseball games with Madison Bumgarner coming in and pitching 5 innings, and that was an all-timer. And for me, I'm a little biased as a Stanford guy, but Christian McCaffrey in the Rose Bowl against Iowa when he broke the Rose Bowl yardage record. I think it was 368 yards, capped off one of the great seasons in college football history. And so those, I think, would be the 3 that jump out.
Amazing. Iconic moments for sure.
Yes.
There's nothing better than those big-time moments in sports when everyone is just celebrating those big moments for sure. I want to talk about some of your favorite Bay Area athletes. You are back here. you've been covering them for parts of your career, and you will be back covering them. So who are some of your favorite Bay Area athletes to follow?
Boy, you know, in the current world, guys, I'm thinking guys that are still here, who were here, obviously Steph is at the top of the list.
Of course.
Not only, and I had the good fortune to cover Steph Curry for a lot of years, then cover Patrick Mahomes for 2 years, and to just, you know, be able to follow these generational iconic talents. You know, with Curry, my joke was always that you cannot watch a Warriors game without laughing out loud at least twice when Curry does something, and you're like, again, like, how does he do that? So he's one of those rare talents. I go back to Buster Posey with the Giants, obviously now back as the GM, but he was one of my favorites to cover as well during my first run here. Joe Thornton with the Sharks, a great guy to cover as well. But there have been so many. I mean, it's so many guys up and down the ledger. And now, again, I go back to McCaffrey since he's back with the 49ers. Getting to cover him as a pro will be fun.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Full circle moment there for you. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
Okay.
Who do you think is the next Bay Area sports team to win a championship?
Oh, goodness. So I'm going to make a lot of enemies and a few friends really quick. So the 49ers are the closest, despite what happened this year. I mean, obviously, you don't have to go far, right? The season before, they're in the Super Bowl, and they're a play or 2 away from being champs. So I think that the window is still very much open. So I think that seems sort of the obvious answer, that the 49ers... Although, NBA trade deadline tomorrow, we'll see what the Warriors do, right? If all of a sudden Durant's back in town and who knows what they do, maybe that changes. But I say it's the Warriors. The sneaky answer is Bay FC.
Ooh.
And I'll say this because in Kansas City, expansion team a couple years ago, the KC Current, year 2, they went all the way to the NWSL finals. Next year, year 2 for Bay FC. They were great in the first year, so that's the dark horse.
Okay, I like those answers.
Okay,
lastly, I just want to ask you, what are you most looking forward to being a part of the KRON4 family now and just being back here in the Bay Area covering all the sports?
Everything. I mean, this is home for me. I mean, honestly, just seeing Coit Tower out the window is exciting when you've been gone for a few years. You know, it really puts it into perspective. KRON is an iconic news organization. So to be a part of this and to wear the logo with the 4 and the Golden Gate Bridge and everything, the people have been great. So, you know, like I said, it's coming home, and it's the familiarity, and I get to reconnect with not only the teams but the fans and the fellow media members and everything else. So it's just I'm cloud nine.